point from Danilovich there, getting out wide to that backhand, cutting off the angle to produce the angle herself. And David, for Zheng, as good a player as she is, if you can pick that maybe a little bit of a, not a weakness, but a weaker side, it is the forehand. She's got a little bit more of an extreme grip, a bigger swing, and can come out of the shot sometimes and hit the frame. Like that, so you've just seen two. So when you've got that extreme grip like that as well, and you come out of the shot, it ends up flying, and that's actually what happens sometimes in her matches. Catches the frame, shanks a few. Good hitting. I like from Danilovich early on here that when she's had the opportunity and the short ball, she hasn't been afraid to step in. It's the fireworks that are going on that we're hearing, the popping sound.
She had to have a step back when the crowd's silent about to serve, and then an explosion as the fireworks light up the sky. So good opening service hold for Olga Danilovic.
And in the context of this whole kind of match, that is a little psychological win for Danilovich there, just personally to come out and have a strong start, because this is her first match. As we said, Zheng has already been out. He played 3 sets with Vondrosova. It's a big difference when you're starting the year out to actually already have a match under your belt. So for Danilovich, that was a really nicely done, calm game as well. I'm sure there are some nerves, but she didn't show it.
Particularly in front of so many fans from her nation. And when you're part of the Novak show and you're outside, he took time out of his warm-up and went over the fence and greeted the fans beforehand. You're part of all of that scene.
Well, you and I had this conversation coming to call this match, going, you know, is it a privilege or pressure to be in the team with Novak and play with him alongside him? Look, absolute privilege, but it does come with a bit of pressure as well, and you want to do well also, and it comes with the bigger crowds, it comes with the media attention.
One thing from the 2023 season is that Zheng loves this surface. 24 of her 25 wins came on a hard court.
But she did win her first title in Palermo on clay. Which, yes, she prefers hard court, but it's a good sign also for her career as well to be able to play on all surfaces.
I'll tell you what, they're doing a very good job of concentrating, because I'm sure you can hear the fireworks they're a good, must be 1,500 metres away from where we are here. Directly in line if you go as the crow flies down to Elizabeth Key.
That is a wonderful serve there. I like that she went with the slider out wide, and that when you're playing a left-hander there on the juice side, that's what you want to try and do, and make them get this right hand off the racket at full stretch, get it outside of the comfort zone. So shows you a very well placed serve by Zheng there. Oh, beautifully constructed point. Had it all from both players. But Zheng, I like that variation, especially with the forehand, using the angle there right here to draw Danilovich. Because you're going to not just move to the side, but cut off the angle as well. Have a look at where Danilovich was, and then into the open court, but doesn't overplay, stayed calm. Beautiful point. That return came back with interest, shortened the backswing she anticipated. It was a block return, came back even faster than the serve.
Let's for serve. Advantage Team China.
I think, David, if anything here, a little bit for me for Zheng, I don't think she's settled. To me, she's just there's a bit of tension there, maybe a little bit erratic at times. She's gone for a lot, including that forehand right there, almost trying to finish the point off too early. And again, right there. So just going for the line a bit too much, especially off the forehand. Because I don't think she's really, at times, under that much pressure to have to produce massive shots every single time. See, that's the forehand I was talking about. See how she already is up and out of the shot almost before she's even made contact with that. You see the extreme grip as well and the bigger swing. So you've got to stay through that shot all the way and not move too early.
Let's for serve.
Oh, yes.
So an impressive start for Team Serbia here. Danilovich getting the break and opening up a 2-love lead. Bojana Babucic is courtside for us, and Bojana, welcome to you. Good evening. Great night for watching tennis, but it was a bit rowdy for that first 10 minutes, inside and outside the stadium.
It sure was. Good evening, Dave and Yelena. It's been a great start for Team Serbia. Danilovich is playing like she has absolutely nothing to lose, and so she should, because she's up against world number 15, Zheng, and she's playing aggressive, she's confident. Zheng, on the other hand, to me, looks, in these first 2 games, quite passive. When she came out against Vondarusa, Zheng, she was playing so aggressive. She was striking that ball so hard, and just noticed from that first game tonight, she's quite far back behind the baseline. There's a lot more height and spin on her ground strokes. It's not that flat, deep ball that we saw her hitting the other day.
See, again, for me there, she's going for too much too early on. I think it's all well and good to try and be aggressive, but bring your targets in. And she's just going for the line way too much. And the unforced errors are showing it as well. 5 for Zheng, only 1 for Danilovich, and the same amount of winners, 2 each. Just at the moment, overplaying it, Zheng.
I don't mind that drop shot or that attempt from Danilovich, because when Zheng played against Vondarusa, a lot of the points Vondarusa won was when Zheng was moving forward, and she doesn't like to move forward at all. So no doubt that's a tactic that Team Serbia are putting together or are keen to use tonight.
Let's not forget, it's a little bit different tonight because she's going in there love 1, and that in itself can just cause a little bit more pressure. I do feel like Zheng's a little bit more tense tonight. There's just a bit of tension in the body and the face. It's a whole different scenario if you know you have to win your singles match.
And also starting as the heavy favourite too tonight.
Yeah,
so that's
not easy.
Against von Drusberg, it was certainly pretty much a 50-50.
Yeah.
And she came out with that victory, and so now expectations increase.
At that also point, I just want to point out, Danilovich, yes, being aggressive, we're talking about court position, but she's got the margin for error, the trajectory of the net, but also her targets are bigger. That's why she's making less errors. So controlled aggression. It's a tough shot to hit. Was able to just get on top of the bounce and to go down the line here as well. This one here, good footwork. It's just on top of it with that left hand, enough to get over the ball to make it still dip in with enough topspin.
Thank you. Players are ready, thank you.
It's big. Ripped that one.
Team China.
And they're the types of shots that we saw Zheng play up against Vondrousova. She takes the ball so early and strikes it so cleanly when she's in position. So that will definitely give her a bit of confidence.
Three in a row, big winners for Zheng, who gets the break back.
Team Serbia 2-1 for set.
Team Serbia still leading 2-1. Well, that'll give her a lot of confidence. There was a very strong ending to that service game. 3 winners, impressive winners too, from Zheng Qinwen. And just a little reminder of who the better ranked player is here, who's the favourite on paper. It's always just on paper.
Make sure you take yourself out on the big screen. Remember, hashtag United Cup. Don't forget to visit unitedcup.com.au. It's tennis. Turn up. See if you're on the big screen already this evening. Who's here supporting Team China?
What was the message there, Yelena?
I was just listening to that. She was a little bit frustrated, and Tritsky said, look, that was too good. She hit a couple of big winners. You got to expect that, but it was also keep trying to dictate that play, throw in a little bit of variation. And he was overall very positive and telling her, you're playing well, just keep it going.
So on serve now, after an exchange of service breaks in the last 2 games.
Please find a seat quickly. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Any seat for now, thank you. Thank you at the ends of the court.
A few tardy patrons, that's for sure, and in no hurry.
The first serve, but I like the way that she's using it on this juice side. It's now a couple times she's used that one out wide, takes a little bit of pace off, goes more for the angle. Danilovich not able to get it out there, and again has to take that right hand off the racket, which is really hard to do, especially off the return.
Well, that was a positive move to the net, wasn't it? She came in with some purpose.
She sure did, and off a leg court as well. Very quick to get up to it.
Please not make a noise during the point. Thank you.
But I like what Danilovich did on that approach shot. Didn't overplay, but still had enough depth. Good volley as well, where she pulled Zheng forward. And see, for me, that's the one where I feel like Zheng is rushing. There was no need to go for that down the line. It was too risky. Go back through the middle or cross court, and really didn't need to go that early. It's almost like she's actually trying to get a quicker, cheaper point.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, remain quiet. Thank you.
That's a better point from Zheng, especially it took a while to serve both serves. There was a bit of noise and distraction going on, but I like that, where she got herself back into the point through the middle. Just got to stay a little bit more patient, build your point, even when you're defending and not controlling the rally. That was a bit of a psychological win there for her as well, to win that point.
Well, that was well handled. Difficult height from the back of the court. Zheng holds serve, evens it up in his first set at 2 apiece.
I actually didn't even think that that was such a bad shot from Danilovich to throw it up and throw in the variation. That's what she was talking to the captain, Viktor Troitsky, about doing.
Let's go down to Boyana, who's deep inside the Team China camp.
Para, how important was it for Quinn to get on the board in this early first set?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
How important was it for Quinn just to get on the board in this first set to, you know, get herself established?
Yeah, finally Olga started the match playing really well, really aggressive, not doing too many mistakes, and finally it's not easy when the opponent is putting that pressure, but finally she can come in back. Now she's feeling better on the court, and let's see if she can take an advantage now in the next games.
And what are maybe just a couple of things you might mention to her on the next change events for her to focus on?
Well, that finally is like she tries, you know, to put her rhythm and in the court, you know, hold that height moment, you know, that this is Olga started during the match, and then, you know, that entry more in rhythm, more make her play more in the returns, and let's see, you know, it's the beginning of the match, and they are playing great tennis, and let's see how it's gonna be.
Great, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Bit of luck there for Danilovich. And that we heard from Pere Riba, that is now the coach of Zheng. And he actually was on board when Coco Gauff won the US Open. He was alongside Brad Gilbert. But they split after that, and is now coaching Zheng. So not the team captain, he's her actual private coach. So this is the moment for Danilovich where you feel like, okay, I was a break up, perhaps almost a serve there for 3-love. Just got to settle, making a couple of unforced errors. Not doing too much wrong, but just that Zheng has lifted a little. So just take your time and don't rush and go for too much. That is huge, because she anticipated that. You can see she was moving to the backhand to anticipate that approach shot. That approach shot was not good enough, and you don't want to be approaching cross court. You leave too much court open. You want to approach down the line.
And there's two big things that have happened in the last 5 minutes. The unforced errors have disappeared, and the winners have appeared strongly, and that's...
Yes, but see right there, that approach shot was not good enough. It was almost like hoping that that would make it, but also that Zheng would miss. I like what Pereriba said to Boyana there. It was all about rhythm, which is what we felt like Zheng was struggling with early on, and also saying in this next game, let's see, I want her to make a few more returns so that she can put some pressure on Danilovich, and that's exactly what Zheng has done. She's made every single return in this game. She's talking about rhythm and staying in the point more and trying to find her timing, and she's slowly done that.
So once again gets the break, second service break in a row on the Danilovich serve. Team China 3-2. Now, a very special part of Western Australia and Australia full stop is the Kimberley region. Bungle Bungles, Mitchell Falls, very strong Indigenous culture in this region. Landscape like nowhere else in this vast continent. Beautiful location, and such a tourist mecca as well. So, I have to say, many Australians, me included, haven't been there yet, and it's on the list. We come down, beautiful night. ROC Arena shining. Energy's up, Boyana, the crowd. They're on their feet still. In fact, I don't think many of them have left after the Djokovic encounter. Only we went outside to get a quick refreshment, and that's about it.
No, they're all back in the stands, and they are having a lot of fun. It's New Year's Eve. Why wouldn't you?
Time.
Some people are working, which is extraordinary, Elena, such as our commitment, New Year's Eve, and we are here.
Do you call this work, Dave?
Yeah, I wouldn't call this work.
I wouldn't call it work.
Well, no, it's borderline.
And you know what?
Nowhere else I'd rather be, though.
Well,
absolutely not.
But I said to you guys before this match as well, especially, I'm going to stay and watch the mixed, especially if it's a live mixed doubles. We'll see what happens. But either way, I'm staying and watching.
So you're not taking me out? I thought we'd arranged that last night.
But we can go out in the stadium. I'm taking you to watch the mixed doubles.
Taking me to the tennis. What a night.
A lot of people would like that, David.
That probably is the difference, isn't it, between Danilovich and Zheng, is just those opportunities, when you have them, you really have to take them. That backhand was what we call a sitter. You know, you don't miss those ones. But the good thing for her, though, is she's creating those opportunities.
Oh, huge. See, that's the range now that Zheng has found. 3 games ago, that would have missed. But now the trajectory over the net is just a little bit higher as well. And she's just brought her targets a little bit more in. Look, this is still very close to the line, but yeah, almost a half a metre in compared to where it was 3 games ago. So good adjustment from Zheng and awareness on what she needed to do in this match. That's great effort from Danilovich. Great hustle, good movement forward, but I like the improvisation and the adjustment she did there on the back end to actually hit a slice and guide it down the line deep beautifully. Good tennis from Zheng.
Well, we heard Coach Reba talk about being a little bit more relaxed and just not going for it quite as much, and some good examples there. There was some very well-placed ground strokes.
Well, she's working the point more, but by actually having bigger targets and more height over the net, then you can actually stay in the point longer. You can work it, you can work the angles, the height as well, but you also play yourself in.
Zheng consolidates the break and now out to 4-2. For
Danilovich here, just really important to just settle a little bit. Just still know that at this stage it's only 1 break. Hold your serve, take care of business on your side of the court. And that way just continue asking that question of your opponent to have to continue holding serve.
She loves hitting that forehand, showing that inside out when she's inside the court. She did that so well against Vondrousova. So something for Danilovich just to be aware of.
Well, if you're going to, that forehand, you've got to pressure her. So you've got to go fast and hard and deep when she's in position, and when she's got time, especially to get around the ball, then she's good, just like that, in full flight.
50-13.
Danilovich starting to get frustrated too, and she's got to try and bottle that emotion and not let her opponent see it, because she knows that there's going to be a lot of zingers flying past.
Absolutely, you got to sometimes accept that from your opponent. That's what Troitsky was kind of saying on the change of ends as well. Look, if she does that, it's too good, accept it, and that's the way that she plays. It's going to happen.
30.
I like that positivity. Good positive body language, because at times when it hasn't gone her way, she just has been a little bit negative. So just continue to reinforce that and stay positive no matter what the score is. Nicely done.
40-13.
Well, she just took time away, didn't she, from Zheng. Danilovich just getting a little bit more on that backhand side, getting that depth.
But yeah, and I was going to ask you, actually, she looked like she started aggressively, but controlled aggression. But then the last couple of games, she's thrown in more mid-court balls to Zheng, which you can't do. And that was better right there, that last one.
Please.
Well, it's just making adjustments, isn't it? Trying to figure out what's working, what's not. And that's the beauty of tennis. It can change so quickly.
And there's your ball, even off a serve, when she's got time. Can't even see that when it comes back. Danilovich almost didn't even land after that second serve, but the return, just cracking one going right past her. You cannot give Zheng the time.
Advantage, Team Serbia.
You almost have to be a little bit prepared to ride the wave with Zheng tonight. I feel there's moments where she'll throw in a few unforced errors, and then there's moments where she'll really crack a few winners. So for Danilovich, she just needs to hang in there and play the point for what it is.
So after dropping her service game the past two attempts, Danilovich holds there. Team China 4-3. Taking a look at some of the statistics here. Winners now unforced errors 9 apiece. Racked up 6 pretty quickly, but has eliminated those, and the winners are starting to flow a little quicker.
But she's got almost 3 times the amount of winners of Danilovich. And that's been that difference of being able to just balance that out. Her serve percentage for Danilovich, 81%.
What's she winning of those? 64?
55%.
55, yeah.
And so that could signal the placement of the serve. Is she placing it well enough? So she's got the percentage there, but are you getting 3 points? Do you have the variation? What are you doing perhaps on that first shot after the serve?
Time. Thank you, players already. Please take a seat. Thank you. Players are waiting.
I think if you were Danilovich, especially on the first point, or every time that Zheng serves, she has served out wide every single time on the first point and pretty much gotten a return error out of it. So maybe Danilovich just to stand a bit more out there. And I like that play. If you can, if you've got that ability and the time and if you're in the right position to go more through the service line, use the width of the court. That way you're not giving the same ball to Zheng, which she likes, same pace, same height in the strike zone, that hip area, but instead moving her out, exposing the sidelines.
Game from China. Team China with 5 games to 3 first sets.
Second ace brings up the game win, 5-3, Team China.
And this game's so important for Danilovich in terms of just applying the pressure back on Zheng. Doesn't want to give away too many free points. I feel like in that last game, there were just too many loose errors and Zheng didn't really have to do a whole lot.
Also, as a player, you go, okay, you got to put that pressure on your opponent to try and serve out the set perhaps and keep asking that question. But you're looking ahead, you go, if I do lose the first set, if she holds a serve, she will be starting to serve first in the second, which is definitely an advantage to try and be ahead and get a good start in the second set.
Love 15.
So if you're Danilovich right now, you're really having to tell yourself to not give away any free points. She wants to stay in the rally as long as she can and really make Zheng play.
30-15.
Good example there of just hanging tough, throwing in a bit of variety as well.
And that was good variation, but that had enough heaviness on it. At times she's tried to do it and it didn't have the heaviness or the depth, so it gave Zheng that opportunity to really pounce on top of the either forehand or backhand. That was good there from Danilovich. Big serve, 186 k's an hour, but it was also the placement as well. Got a very nice fluid motion, good leg drive, good extension as well.
Please. (40-13).
So Danilovich holds and will force
Team trying to lead 5 games to
Zheng to answer the question. Can she hold serve for the set? Team China 5-4. Quiet in the Team China coaching staff, but going on for Team Serbia. Business end of the opening set here, and if you are just joining us, Team Serbia got off to a winning start. Courtesy of world number 1, Novak Djokovic, returning to Perth for the first time over a decade. 6-3, 6-2 over Qinwen Zheng. And after trading service breaks a number of occasions, Qinwen had one in hand and is now serving for this opening set.
Please find a seat at the ends of the court, thank you. Any seat, thank you. Love. 30-15.
Such a big point right now, 30 all, 5-4. And for Danilovich, the longer the point, the more in favour it is for her. So she has to make this return and start the point.
Time violation warning, Team China.
Oh. She's dealt with adversity well today. Early on in the set, same thing at 30 all when there was some disruptions, now getting a time violation, and she just took a second and paused and hits an unbelievable serve to set up a set point. Great focus.
So, Yelena, you touched on this only a couple of games ago. The serve on the due side from Zheng, I would almost say every time's out wide. So if you're Danilovich, you need to be hovering on that side.
Yeah, and
give Zheng a different look.
Yeah, and I'd even step in a bit closer so that you kind of make it look smaller for her as well. And you know what? Tempt her to go to the tee, and if she does, and hits a great serve, too good.
Time violation, lost the serve.
Oh, another time violation. So that now means she's lost the first serve. So that will now automatically be a second serve.
Yeah, I know, but you need to be quicker.
Second serve.
Big point and a big serve here, big second serve.
Second serve.
I'm not sure. Does she realise it's a second serve? Because she went for a big one there. That was a first serve. And that was an angry forehand right there. That was a frustrated forehand. She wanted to get a cheap point, a quick one, get a bit of frustration out, and that missed by a long way.
Thank you.
Crowd starting to get into their work as well, which will increase the
ladies and gentlemen,
frustration levels.
Please.
just a little bit of extra pace on that last shot from Zheng.
Well, she stepped into that backhand, didn't she? Got to give her full credit. Was under pressure. And I think for Danilovich, that is that fine line. Brianna, you're right there on that baseline where she is. Yes, it's making balls, but at one stage they got a bit too short. She got a little too tentative, Danilovich, in trying to just make the balls and get them over the net.
Let's for serve.
Zheng's also stepped up the pace of her shots, though, in those last 2 points. She is smacking that ball.
Almost like she's trying to hit her way out of this and
Sure is.
go for it, yeah.
Let's first serve. Please, please.
Oh, wow. Tremendous. Don't know what was better, the serve, the return, or that last forehand. It was right into the body, the way that she got out of that body serve. Let's have a look at this. Have a look at this return. Incredible reaction and improvisation, and then the forehand angle there. You can see how he jumped to the left, the heaviness of it. Well done.
Well, Danilovich was hoping, wasn't she, that it was going to float.
Yeah, you can see it as well. I think it was almost like going, please go out. And you just have to play it always as if it's in. Yes, there was the depth, but it was almost like she was waiting for that call. Good point, though, again, from both. This is digging deep right now. Tennis of really, really high quality here.
Advantage Team China.
Well, there's been a bit going on in this game. 2 break points saved, time violation, crowd getting involved. Now the second set point. Seems an age ago that she had her first. Aggressive play and fitting really, because that's been her style in the back half of this first set. And Qinwen takes it 6-4 in just over an hour. Ten and a half minutes that game, and the first set point came halfway through probably. Danilovich got back into it. Spirits are high, Elena.
Yeah, they are. Look, there's a lot of tension, understandably so, but it's that kind of, you know, competition. Every point counts, and this is what we love.
Let's take a look at the stats of that opening set. And service percentage for Zheng low, points won high. Unforced errors were, well, they started off quickly, racking up half a dozen and then evened out, but then that grew again.
Well, it wasn't much in it there, but in the end, it was Zheng. It was being aggressive, but being able to also, at the same time, be consistent and keep the unforced errors low, especially after the first couple of games. But the court coverage, the variation, we saw it all, the court craft, and Zheng to deal with a bit of adversity there, a couple of time violations, but really when it mattered the most, she won the big point. She played better on the big points, so she takes the opening set 6-4.
Lots of different time zones in the world, but the new year being rung in on the eastern seaboard in Australia. Still 3 hours away here. New Zealand are already into it. Celebrations are underway for 2024. For some spectators, just give me a chuppa and I'll be happy. I'm a bit like that, easily pleased.
Yes.
Okay, so Danilovich got close, nearly got her way back into it after getting herself out of it with 2 early and consecutive breaks of serve. What's she have to do here to both you, Yelena and Bojana?
Well, look for
Second
Danilovich
set,
here.
I
think she needs to realise she's actually played good tennis. She's playing against
ladies and
15 in the world, and she's been able to hold her own.
Quickly, thank you.
And wasn't much in it. So she has to go here and forget about that first set, start from scratch. She's serving first, hold her serve, especially early on in the second set. Got to stay with Zheng here. Good serving. But when we talk about from the actual tactical perspective, what I would like to see, her first serve percentage is high. It's 74% for Danilovich. She was at over 80% at one stage in that first set, but she's winning 50% of the points. It was even less earlier on. So it's the placement of that serve. Go more into the body, but what do you do with the first shot as well after the serve? And this play right here. So this is what I would avoid. I think for me, she's going too much to the Zheng backhand. I think she needs to go more into the forehand. And Zheng actually hit 2 winners to finish off that first set, and that was off the backhand as well. So I would keep testing that forehand, but go fast and hard into it. You don't have to go for the lines, but try and take time away from her on the forehand because of that extreme grip and bigger swing.
And certainly just needs to keep backing herself. I think she created so many opportunities for herself, Danilovich, in that first set, and really took it to Zheng. So almost just as if she just needs to reset and start again as if it's the first set.
And Bojana, your courtside, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the belief and a bit of that body language and confidence is very different from both. Oh, too good. And what I mean by that is that Danilovich sometimes, she plays great tennis, but she loses 1 point, and it's almost like sometimes, oh, that's it, it's the end of the world. And that's what the top players do so well. They just go on with it, move on, play every single point confidently, back yourself, don't get down on yourself. And that's maybe something also looking forward, that to progress and get further in her career, gotta continue having that belief on the court throughout the whole match.
Certainly circumstances play a role too when you know you've got a teammate like Novak Djokovic who's just won his singles. I think also adds that little bit of extra tension and pressure.
So Zheng gets the opening service break.
First game, second service.
So we've talked about that Danilovich shot placement. And this is where you can see that shot placement there. For me, it's a little bit short as well. I think she needs to get a little bit more depth. And for Zheng, she's got more pace, but she's ripping the ball. Big targets right there. And then we've also got this, is very interesting, which is what I said. So Danilovich is actually playing a lot into the Zheng backhand. That is the strength, the 57%, but the 43% going into the forehand.
49.
So let's have a look at it quickly here one more time. So the 57%, that's going to the left. That's the Zheng backhand, the strength. 43% going to the forehand. I would test that forehand more. I would like to see those numbers more. Like at least a 60-40 going to the forehand. That is a little bit of a weaker side. And it's one thing if you're trying to maybe open up that forehand by going to the backhand, but that's not what's happening. This is purely rally balls. So just keep testing the forehand, because under pressure, technically that's the first thing that goes. And for Zheng, that forehand, technically there's a little bit of a glitch with a bigger swing.
Was one of the things you mentioned right from the very beginning, Elena, that if there's a difference in the sides of Zheng, it's the slight weakness. You didn't,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
describe it as a weakness,
yeah.
it's just not as strong.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a weakness, just compared to the backhand, maybe a little weaker. When you've got just a little bit of that bigger swing and more extreme grip, if you can go fast and hard into that side, it can be hard to control, and sometimes some extra errors come off that side. But Zheng, dealing with it well here, off to a great start in the second set.
Service game to love and races out to a 2-love lead. Danilovich, seeing her disposition, she's starting to get down on herself, and she needs to remember here that she's playing a young player on the rise, number 15 in the world, the height of her career, and it's going to be a tough task. Just a little more positivity, I think. I'm sure that's the message from her team bench as well.
And also, I'm talking a little bit maybe here from like a coaching perspective, because she's a young player and she's got so much potential. I think she's a great ball striker. She's got the height, she's got the physicality. I think she can get even stronger and faster. But when players watch matches like this and they go, you know what, if I get on top of her for a game or two, you know, she can really lose her confidence here and her body language. The locker room watches and they know, and they'll take notes. It's more from a perspective, okay, you know, whatever you do, every single point, every game, every set, just stay positive and just show that good body language, because it's not just about this match or this tournament, it's the whole year. And you want to get into those good habits and good mindset, and you just never know, that will start to pay off, that positivity.
Well, Zheng's feeding off it at the moment.
Yes.
She's seeing what's happening at the other end of the court.
But also Zheng's a perfect example of how she's done that and handled that in the first set.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Because I felt that Zheng had her moment of frustration where she almost let herself down by getting frustrated, especially at that 5-4 game when Danilovich had a couple of points to make it at 5-4. So even the best players in the world have certain moments where if you don't take advantage of them, they probably won't come back again.
Yeah, but Zheng did it for a point. And I think as a player, that's what you do. You don't want to let it linger for a few games, because against the top players, you lose a set, you lose a match if you let it linger for too long.
That said, Zheng won that game to win the set, so that changed things immediately. If she had have lost that after the time violation and
Absolutely.
the crowd agitation and all of those things, it might have been a completely different situation.
Sure.
Anyway, we're in the situation now where Zheng is off to a flyer and has another break opportunity. But this is the thing about tennis, when it's one person against another, and for we've been going for an hour and 14. It's the ebbs and flows of that. What happens? These little mini moments that make up the entirety.
Well, it's how you ride the emotions of a match, isn't it? Your own and everything that goes on out there. It's not just hitting the ball. It's how strong you are mentally.
Well, that was a disappointing ending to that service game. And Zheng now out to a 3-love lead, having won the first set 6-4.
Very good. Same.
But that's all a part of the, we've seen Katie Boulder the last couple of nights here, and she's, in the top 50 in the world, hovering around that, wants to get higher into the 30s, into the 20s, and continue on from there. And that's, her approach to the game, smiling, looking, trying to enjoy it. It's not easy, but you can train yourself to enjoy those moments.
Tell you what, the way that Katie Boulder's playing and the mindset and the hard work and the way that she's going about things, and certainly the way that she's played today and the matches here, and we've heard it a couple of times today, she's playing top 10 tennis. If she can continue to do that throughout the whole year, it will be her best for sure.
Well, we hear so much about mindfulness, and back in our day as athletes, it wasn't really a thing that you were training the mind as specifically. You had psychologists, etc. But just that I'm going to be happy. I'm going to look on the positive side. You choose yourself how you want to view the world. It's not easy. And it's not easy in this sport when you're out there in a big stadium with a big crowd, a lot of eyes watching. Easy for us from here. She's getting a little frustrated.
Time. Please fancy quickly, thank you.
So if you're Danilovich right now, you almost have to put the score aside and just do everything you can to get yourself on the board in the second set and show Zheng that she's still in this match and she's not going to give it away.
30 all.
Had some big serving. It's just the placement of it as well. Good confidence on that. Good leg drive and just also going up after the ball well. Great acceleration. It's a bigger serve than he was a year ago from Zheng. Clearly work's been done on that to create a bigger weapon.
So Zheng, who was under slightly more duress in that service game than any of the previous in this set, extricates herself, and all of a sudden it's for love.
And you know what, like, you're going to give a lot of credit here to Zheng because she was under pressure in that first set. She's playing someone that's ranked a lot lower than her. She's the clear favourite in this match, and also she has to win this match to keep Team China in the tie, and had a couple of time violations. We're going to tell you, the way that she's dealt with that and just to focus and not let anything affect her out there and what she's doing, it's been impressive. I really like what I'm seeing. That's what I think maybe Danilovich, just keep testing that forehand like that one right there. That will happen sometimes where she just comes out of the shot a little bit too quickly, Zheng, and opens up that left shoulder and gets too front on. So has the tendency here and there just to miss-hit that ball.
30. Please.
There it is again. So I like when she attacks that forehand right there. Definitely gets some shorter replies and some more errors as well. Good positive game here from Danilovich. How good has the overhead been today? The bounce, smash, I mean, she just times it so well, keeps her eye on the ball, but what she does also well, she uses her peripheral vision on where her opponent is, so she doesn't actually panic. It's been superb.
This is
Just getting in position for it, sorry.
Yeah, third she's had, and she's been, well, she's won 2 points. The other one was a successful shot, but she didn't end up winning the point. But even Danilovich, that's the response you need to have when that happens. That's a bit of a change for her. Previously, she'd be frustrated and annoyed by that, but you just have to...
Too good, say to your opponent.
Well done.
Yeah.
So what she doesn't want to do here is get too upset. Still holds the advantage.
And there you saw just a tiny little reaction of, I'm just a little bit angry about losing that point, but you still got 40-30. Just keep the focus and worry about getting your first serve in here. Those are just those little 1%ers. There you go.
Good response. And on the board for Team Serbia. Not much discussion throughout here in the Team China team zone. Really, but on the left-hand side of our screen, right-hand side of Zheng, just the occasional little word. Things are pretty well in command, so not too much need to issue the instructions. See the punishment the balls take, and the face paint also has got a fair workout as well.
Time. Go up, keep your right arm in the air and try to keep it above your right arm. Like the rhythm and go up for the first turn, okay? Slow in the beginning and then boom.
I've talked about the Zheng serve, and I like that she's getting more, just a little bit more pop and acceleration with her arm and driving the legs. That one there, even though it came back with interest. And her serve, she does have a pretty good and smooth motion, but have a look at this here and what she does with the right arm. See how she opens up the wrist and the racket, whereas it should be rolling in a little bit more. Well, there's such thing as called too excited. Perfectly played point there, just went for too much. Why I talk about the Zheng serve is because she's actually worked on that a lot. That used to be a lot further out. We call that almost like holding that the serving tray. You got to have that wrist rolling in so that you actually get more control with your serve. If that arm is open, you will miss a lot of serves, especially long. So she's worked on that. It's getting better.
Certainly one thing for Danilovich to take away from this match is how important it is to get the ball back in play when you're end of range. Every time, well, most of the time when she gets pulled off court, doesn't quite execute her shots as well as she would like.
Oh, it comes down to court coverage and movement, doesn't it? It comes down to strength at end range, but also how fast you get out into the corners as well as coming back. And that's what the top players do so well. It is the court coverage. It is the speed around the court, but also what kind of a shot can you hit while you are defending and while you're on the run. And again, this is a great match to learn from because Zheng does that so well. This is a player that will potentially be in the top 10 this year and certainly playing like it. So there's a lot to learn from this, from Danilovich, and just good practice as early on in the year and to see where she is. And I actually think she's played a lot better than what the scoreline shows for Danilovich.
Ladies and gentlemen, please no flash, thank you.
Danilovich doing a great job of just hanging in this set in this match, just making a few more first serves and forcing the play a bit more.
Made the most of the new balls. Danilovich
China lead 5 games to 2, 7 sets.
Forced Zheng to serve, which she will do after this sit down. Team China 5-2. That'll be interesting to see, Liana, if Novak returns for the mixed doubles here, assuming that Zheng's able to close this match out. He did intimate that if they had the 2-love scoreline, he might not be out there. We'll find out shortly, but that will be interesting.
Well, one thing's for sure, he certainly loves playing for his country, so I wouldn't be surprised if this match did go in the favour of Team China, that he will step out. And that will be an exciting one to watch.
In the overall context, with Poland taking on Spain tomorrow, this win for China could be handy. So each of the group winners proceeding through to the quarterfinal, and then one of the runners-up. And with China winning that opening encounter 3-love. 3-1 will be in the bank if they get this win here in terms of matches won. Fan cam has got the crowd on their feet. things you do to win a bucket hat. So Qinwen now coming out to serve for the match here. She won her opening encounter against Marketa Vondrousova, Czech Republic. She can end this breakout year of 2023 on a winning note.
I must say her first serve has really stepped up in these last few games for Zheng. Seems to have found her rhythm now.
Led for serve. Love. Thank you.
Well, this final game has been a good encapsulation of what she's been able to produce and what she's brought to RAC Arena tonight. Well, it has been a bit of a snapshot, really, because the last 2 points were how Zheng commenced the match, forcing things a little, going for something that's not there.
She has so much power, though, on both sides, doesn't she? Just has to pick the right time to execute, that's all.
Again, it's a match, team trainer.
So Zheng,
6-4, 6-2.
WTA's most improved player last year, ends what's been a great 2023 for her. Takes the win here in straight set, 6-4, 6-2 for Team China. And that might be an important win. There's a bit to play out yet, but with the mixed doubles still to come. And a 3-love win in the opening tie, that might be enough to squeak them through to the quarterfinals here in Perth. A lot to like about her game. And we are going to see a lot of Qinwen in 2024. It's impressive, Boyana. I like the way she approaches the game. There's some excitement.
She certainly does, and you know, one of the things that does stand out is that she backs herself, despite what the score is. She has that belief in her game, and she has the ability to adjust when things aren't going well. And she's only 21 years of age, so a lot more exciting times ahead for her and opportunities to improve. really did have a standout year this year, and exciting to see what 2024 holds for her.
Elena dashed down. She was so engaged in that match that she looked up the scoreline and said, I've got to go, I've got to run down there. And thankfully that last service game went for a while, Elena. Let's go to you now with our winner.
Quinn, congratulations. Now that's 2 singles matches, 2 wins. But there was a lot of pressure on this one. You were 1 love down to try and push it to the live mixed doubles. Did you feel that pressure tonight?
Oh, well, yeah, today obviously it's more crowd than yesterday, and especially we lost the first match, and I want to win for my country. So yeah, I do feel more pressure, but I think pressure can make me play better. Actually, I will say today I had a great performance on court, and I'm happy with myself to win that match. And now we got finally mixed doubles to play.
Well, talking about pressure, you definitely showed that you played well under pressure. There were some really tough moments in the first set, a couple of time violations, but you really had to hold your serve at 5-4 as well. You dealt with it beautifully. What were you telling yourself in those moments?
Well, yeah, the time violation is tough for me because I didn't expect I will get a second warning because I didn't check the clock. So after the time violation, I tell myself to keep focus. And you know, that's super important game at 5-4. I mean, I think she had got a lot of break point. You know, if I hold the serve, will be set for me. If I don't, will be 5-5. And in that moment, everything can happen because, you know, today, a lot of crowd are supporting to Serbia. So, yeah, but I'm happy that I can hold that moment at the end, get the set. That was not easy for me.
Now, it's a perfect segue into my next question. Crowd, Serbia, pressure, and Novak Djokovic in mixed doubles. So if you're coming back out, playing against him, what is that going to feel like? I know you want to also get his autograph, you said after the press conference as well. He's your idol. How much are you looking forward to playing this match?
Well, at this moment, I will see nobody in front of me, you know, just a player against another player. And I will try to give my best, doesn't matter who is in front of me. And the photos, let's see after the match. Depends if we win or not, because if we lose, I'm gonna have bad mood. But if I win, I'm gonna go to ask the photograph. Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations. We look forward to watching you again, ladies and gentlemen. Qinwen.
That's a nice personality too. I'm not sure Novak will be too keen on the photo if they lose. But anyway, good luck with that.
Time will tell.
So it's 1 apiece. That's the scoreline. That's the most important score at the moment in this mixed team format. 1 match apiece as we confirm the statistics from that win. First serve percentage, well, it hovered around that high 50s, didn't it? The points won pretty similar in the 70s. 8 aces, forehand winners. I talked about the backhand being the preference, but she was able to win those forehand points, and the unforced errors were pretty similar, but it was the strength of the ground strokes really that was the difference from Zheng and her all-round game. It's impressive. Boyana, thank you. You've got to pop up here to call the next one, so we'll look forward to that.
Look forward to it.
Elena, thank you for your time as well. So at the moment, it's 1 apiece. Serbia versus China. Zheng Qinwen gets her 2nd win in a row here at the United Cup for her country.